Hi friends, welcome back. My name is Maskani. Today I am gonna teach you some useful vocabs from the book 504 Absolutely Essential Words. Let's make a start. First word, architect. Architect means a person who makes plans for buildings and other structures, or a maker, or a creator. Examples. Number 1. The famous architect Frank Lloyd Wright designed his buildings to blend with their surroundings. Number 2. An architect must have a knowledge of the materials that will be used in his structures. Number 3. General Eisenhower was the architect of victory over the Nazis in World War I. Matrimony. Matrimony means married life or ceremony of marriage. Examples. Number 1. Though matrimony is a holy state, our local governments still collect a fee for the marriage license. Number 2. Because of lack of money, the sweetness of their matrimony turned sour. Number 3. Some bachelors find it very difficult to give up their freedom for the blessing of matrimony. Baggage. Baggage means the trunks and suitcases a person takes when he or she travels, or an army's equipment. Examples. Number 1. When Walt unpacked his baggage, he found he had forgotten his radio. Number 2. Mrs. Montes checked her baggage at the station and took the children for a walk. Number 3. The modern army cannot afford to be slowed up with heavy baggage. Squander. Squander means spend foolishly or waste. Examples. Number 1. Do not squander your money by buying what you cannot use. Number 2. Because Freddie squandered his time watching television, he could not catch up on his homework. Number 3. In his will, Mr. Larson warned his children not to squander their inheritance. Abroad. Abroad means outside one's country, or going around, or far and wide. Examples. Number 1. More people are going abroad for vacations. Number 2. Is there any truth to the rumor abroad that school will be open all summer? Number 3. The news of the president's illness spread abroad. Fugitive. Fugitive means a runaway. Examples. Number 1. Paul was a fugitive from the slums, abandoned by all his friends. Number 2. After escaping from prison, Tom led an unhappy life as a fugitive from the law. Number 3. The fugitives from the unsuccessful revolution were captured. Calamity. Calamity means a great misfortune or serious trouble. Examples. Number 1. Failure in one test should not be regarded as a calamity. Number 2. The death of her husband was a calamity that left Mrs. Marlowe numb. Number 3. What is more dismal than one calamity following upon the heels of another? Pauper. Pauper means a very poor person. Examples. Number 1. The fire that destroyed his factory made Mr. Bluesome a pauper. Number 2. The richest man is a pauper if he has no friends. Number 3. Since he was once a pauper himself, Max is willing to help the needy whenever he can. Envy. Envy means jealousy, or the object of jealousy, or to feel jealous. Examples. Number 1. Marilyn's selection as prom queen made her the envy of every senior. Number 2. My parents taught me not to envy anyone else's wealth. Number 3. Our envy of Nora's skating ability is foolish, because with practice all of us could do as well. Collapse. Collapse means a breakdown, or to fall in, or break down, or fail suddenly, or fall together. Examples. Number 1. A heavy flood caused the bridge to collapse. Number 2. His failure in chemistry meant the collapse of Bob's summer plans. Number 3. Collapse the trays and store them in the closet. Prosecute. Prosecute means bring before a court, or follow up, or carry on. Examples. Number 1. Drunken drivers should be prosecuted. Number 2. The district attorney refused to prosecute the case for lack of evidence. Number 3. The general prosecuted the war with vigor. Bigamy. Bigamy means having two wives or two husbands at the same time. Examples. Number 1. Some people look upon bigamy as double trouble. Number 2. Mr. Winkle, looking at his wife, thought bigamy was one crime he would never be guilty of. Number 3. Some religious groups are in favor of bigamy, even though it is against the law of the land. Words in use. Law and marriage. The famous architect Melville Fenton grew tired of matrimony and devised a scheme to free himself of his spouse. He told her he had been engaged by an American company to design its new office building in Paris. Packing his baggage, he left his home and proceeded to cut all his ties with his former life. He changed his name, secured a new job, and quickly forgot his faithful wife. Not having any responsibilities, he began to squander his money and energy. He married another woman, believing he was safe from the law. But his first wife had grown suspicious and resentful. She learned from his employer that he had not gone abroad, that in fact he had left the firm altogether. With a little detective work, she soon discovered her husband's whereabouts. He had become a fugitive from justice, and one calamity after another overtook him. He lost his job, became a pauper, and was no longer the envy of his acquaintances. Then his second wife grew ill and died. After the collapse of his plans, there was only one logical step for Melville to take. He embraced his wife and asked for her forgiveness. Much to his relief, she decided not to prosecute him for beginning. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next session.